I'd rather just speak to a robot about this. AI can become a great assistant. You can't do business without having some kind of human interaction. There's going to be a lot of you in this episode attacking me because I'm going to use the word AI. What I've come to learn is that whenever I talk about AI, especially AI in sales, my goodness, does it trigger some people. So trigger warning in full effect. Today's episode of the Sales Circle podcast, we're going to talk about AI, the pros, the cons, and how you can utilize it as a salesperson, a business owner, a CEO, or an entrepreneur. Welcome to this episode of the Sales Circle podcast, the podcast that is designed to help you boost your sales, to increase your sales, to make more sales, to sell better, to sell more wiser, to sell cooler. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm your host, Rob Spence, an internationally renowned sales trainer, sales author, sales coach, the managing director of a multi-award winning sales and marketing agency. And yes, as I just said there, we are going to be talking a lot about AI today. Now, if you are an experienced listener or viewer over on YouTube, you'll know that it's not been too long ago since we spoke about AI. We spoke about AI, goodness, probably 4, if not 6 episodes ago, potentially, maybe more, maybe less. And I want to make clear, we're not reinventing or repeating that episode in any way. We're going to look at things slightly differently because, my goodness, does AI trigger a lot of people, right? The second you talk about AI, right, oh my God, it polarizes people to some degree. And I think that polarization is changing somewhat. I think there's more people for AI. But my gosh, whenever I slag off AI, whenever I talk negatively about AI, there's so many people creep into my comments, into my DMs, into my inbox. Oh, you know nothing about AI. AI is amazing. AI is the best thing to ever happen. It's hilarious. And look, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and I want those comments to come in. So if I say anything unjust, unwarranted, dare I say, in this episode, then please do message in, comment in, and let me know. It's funny, I've been in business, goodness, self-employed as a business owner for 7 years, and been in business longer than that, in employed roles. And I don't think there's ever been anything so polarizing nor so that makes people so passionate. I always notice trends that come into play with business, and I think some of the trends that you note and pick up on historically have been social media and social media marketing. That then kind of led into a bit of discussion around SEO. SEO became the buzzword. Then so did, of course, GDPR, because that naturally came into force from European governments. And then lo and behold, AI. I think there was a little resurgence of SEO, but then AI was like, oh my God, AI. So anyway, I'm waffling. We are going to talk a little bit about AI, how you can use it as a salesperson and how you can use it to sell more effectively. As always, excuse me one second. As always, I've got some words of warning about AI and some words of caution when it comes to AI. But overall, we're just going to discuss AI as openly as possible. Here's what you can do. Obviously, 1, listen attentively. Number 2, please hit that follow or that subscribe button. Our statistics still show there's so many people listen to the podcast over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or watch it over on YouTube. And yet so many people out there have not hit the subscribe button or hit the follow button. So just do me a favor, please. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel to grow and allows us to provide better value and more things further down the line. Each episode comes out every single Thursday, and I'm so thankful for all of you that are listening, that are watching, and of course, that are following us over on social media. So without further ado, shall we jump straight in to the main part of the podcast? So just what is happening with AI in sales? As I said in the little introduction segment of this podcast, you cannot escape AI now. Goodness, if you want to make loads of money, just buy a domain with the URL of .ai and you'll become a multimillionaire overnight. Investors will snap you up, right? AI is quickly overtaking our world, our life, both in business and within sales. And look, whether that be through lead generation, whether that be automated chat bots, whether it be forecasting, whether it be, writing show notes for a podcast, potentially. There is so much that people are starting to use AI for. a small caveat to all of this, and many of you AI lovers out there will I'm sure, be going, oh, AI's been around for years. And 100% AI has been around for years. I think in recent years, it's become more accessible, easier to understand, easier to get. And of course, is getting the sort of fame and sort of fortune that it should. A quick few statistics for you. I always like to share statistics. I never want to make this podcast just about me. I want to make it about us, and I want to make it about the world. So a couple of statistics here for you. 61% of sales teams are now using AI to help find and qualify leads. So a lot of sales teams are starting to use AI. Now, here's an interesting one. Salespeople using AI insights are 33% more likely to hit their targets. It's pretty cool, right? A lot of CEOs, so 70% of CEOs say that AI is going to be critical to their company's growth in the next 2 years. So it's some powerful stuff there. And look, although, I'm going to put my cards on the table here. Although I have a disliking to AI there, I said it, it's out in the ether. I dislike AI, and there's good reason for that. Okay, and I'll kind of talk about my dis-hate and distrust towards AI in a second. But AI cannot be ignored. What did we see here? 61% of sales teams are now using AI to find and qualified leads. Salespeople using AI insights are 33% more likely to hit their targets, and 70% of CEOs say that AI is going to be critical for their company's growth. So we know that it's going to be critical. We know it's going to be vital. Okay, so if you're not exploring AI, then perhaps today is the day we start. There are some warnings, some caveats to all of that, like I say. But let's look at how you can use AI to sell more. Okay, so how can we use AI to sell more? We've kind of alluded to some of the things already, and we 100% spoke about them in the earlier episode, so make sure you go check that out. But a lot of sales teams, what was the statistic a minute ago? 61% of sales teams are using AI to forecast, but also to hunt down, find, and qualify leads a lot better. Look, AI, and this is where I think AI is really good. AI can become a great assistant. And let's really underline that word there, assistant. They can't do everything. I don't want you to use it for everything. But they can assist you in scoring, in qualifying, and finding your next leads. They allow you to save a bit of time because it will stop you from dealing with the weaker leads and those that you probably shouldn't really care so much about. And they allow you to focus on the solid leads, on the warmer leads that you can invest a lot more time in. Now they can make your follow-ups easier. We did a whole episode recently about the importance of following up. And if you're a big fan of any of my work, you'll know that I believe, and statistics show, that sales occur after multiple follow-ups, anywhere between 7 to 12 follow-ups. It's a big, big thing in sales. AI can help you follow up better. So it can help you draft emails. I don't always recommend that, which I'll come on to soon. It can allow you to sort of get automated reminders or even remind your prospects to do certain things. But they can also help you to prep talking points, those kind of sticky moments, right? And that's where I believe that AI is a good assistant, not a deliverer, a good assistant. We did mention it earlier. AI is fantastic to help you forecast. So AI, once again, as an assistant, is a great way to read, digest data. Now, I, as a human being, I'm rubbish when it comes to numbers, when it comes to data, right? Genuinely rubbish. It takes me a lot more time. Okay, the word I normally play around with is numbers dyslexic. Sometimes my brain just doesn't fathom numbers at all. Okay, however, utilizing AI allows me to understand data better, which helps when I'm putting my sales director hat on, when I'm working as a consultant, okay? Allowing AI to assist you in that data analysis will allow you to forecast better, allow you to forecast sales, allow you to give you better pipeline predictions, and allow you to forecast your whole operation, so much better. And look, I've never met to this day a salesperson who loves doing admin or updating the CRM. Okay, I've yet to this day found one. Okay, updating CRMs, analyzing data, and doing admin is a critical part to a salesperson's task. But there's two kind of points to this that I want to make. One, salespeople don't like doing it. Okay, once again, I've never met anyone that loves doing it. But secondly, salespeople shouldn't be doing admin and basic CRM stuff. I shared a statistic on an episode, weeks ago, months ago perhaps, and within that we talked about how you can what's the word I'm looking for? Update. It was basically, the amount of time, sales time salespeople actually have when it comes to selling in a normal day. And actually the time salespeople actually have to sell is minimal, because we're too busy doing other tasks, other medial tasks, admin, CRM, that kind of thing. By allowing an AI to assist you with those things, then all of a sudden you get to a stage where you can free up more time to then go out and sell. So in short, if used correctly and used as a tool or as an assistant, AI can free up that time to allow you to sell. And this is where I'm going to now come in with a section that is all about my warning for you. So as we just shared in that section there, in that segment, AI can be fantastic. It can be great. It can be incredible. It can be a wonderful assistant. My concern with AI is that people will get lazy or are already becoming lazy. AI is a fantastic tool, and the analogy I tend to use is the introduction of AI is no different to farmers when all of a sudden they started to get backloaders, tractors, when you see take on combine harvesters and everything else in between. AI can be and should be a tool. It should never be there to replace someone. It should never be there to take away a human's personality, because we sell human to human, right? Forget B2B, forget B2C, it's human to human. No matter what that decision-making process is, there is always a human on the back end of that, or a set of humans. AI as a tool is fantastic to free up that time and to be used as an assistant to help you to sell, but should never be used to replace a salesperson's activities. And allow me to kind of go into that a bit deeper. I speak to so many people now, normally, dare I say, the younger generation who once watched a TikTok video about it all and think they can do it. They believe that they can set up a business, set up a sales team using AI. They think that they can set up chatbots to do all of their salesperson's tasks. They think that they can send 10,000 emails per day using AI and they can make loads of money. And all they have to do as a business owner is just sit back, post a cool video on the gram of them flying along in a private jet and doing X, Y, Z. Well, the fact of the matter remains is that we still need humans, and that's an absolute pipe dream, in my opinion. You can't do business without having some kind of human interaction. And to kind of put that into context, the story I always share, all of us have been fallen foul to those horrible telephone calls where we're calling up, trying to speak to someone to get something done, and we're faced with an automated message system, whether that be press 1 for sales, press 2 for operations, press 3 for anything else. Or those ones where it says, after the tone, please say what your call is about. And you clearly state, I would like to buy something. And they go, sorry, we didn't quite understand that. That to some degree, albeit sort of humanized, it's automation, isn't it, right? With some AI in there, but it's automation. And that's what's going to happen to your customer base if you send everything down some AI and automation route. Humans want to buy from humans. Humans want to speak to people, whether that is in a purchasing transaction, whether that be in a customer service interaction, whether that be in a return dispute negotiation. We want to speak to humans. No one, it's very rare I know anyone that goes, oh, I'd rather just speak to a robot about this. People always go, put me through to an advisor. That's what happens, right? That frustration comes through. And that's kind of taking on part that kind of chatbot, that kind of AI conversational kind of point of view, right? But that does dig in deeper. And I say it all the time. If you are doing this, please stop. Like literally today, stop. And if you've got a sales manager, a marketing manager, a CEO person that's telling you to do it, stop it immediately, okay? Stop doing follow-ups via automation. Stop doing, sales conversations via automation. Oh yeah, what we do is we get their email, we put it into an automation sequence, and then that just sends 7 emails, and we just sit back and wait for the order to come in. You won't get the order in. And also, don't always fall back on AI to write your communication and write your emails. We've got to remember, it's human to human. People want to buy from people that they know, like, and trust, and they've got that human connection. If you're constantly going to ChatGPT, to Grok, or wherever, and going, please write me an email to do this, that's not your personality. That's not your tonality. Of course, using prompts and so on, I know, don't worry, AI guys, we can sort of train our assistant to write in our style and in our format, but it's still not written by us. We are still emotive beings. We still need to have those human connections. So, although yes, absolutely, I think AI is fantastic in sales and in business, and I think once again, if we use it as an assistant or a tool to help us get the job done, then absolutely, it's fantastic. It's like, you know, going to a job and, you know, trying to take out a flathead screw with just a Stanley knife, right? Yeah, it'd probably get there eventually, but it's a nightmare. What we want is the flathead screwdriver to help us do that. And AI as a tool or as an assistant is absolutely fantastic. Whether it be to forecast, whether it's to automate some medial tasks that don't necessarily need a human input, and whether it be to just help you find new leads and so on. Absolutely, it's a great tool. I'm going to use that word again. It's a great tool. It's a great assistant. But for it to overtake a salesperson's job, a business owner's job, an entrepreneur's job, an account manager's job, you may get some quick wins. You may get some quick, fast results. You may do, right? But it won't last. It won't last. I assure you that now. Maybe in 5 to 10 years, maybe longer, maybe less, when technology is there, when AI is better, and we don't actually know who we're talking to, whether it's a human, a robot, an AI bot, whatever, a dog, then fine, it may be at that stage. But right now, we need human-to-human contact. So, like I say, and AI people out there, please don't attack me. I'm welcome to your comments. I'm welcome to your messages, right? I don't hate AI, right? No different to I don't hate a drill to help me undo a screw, right? I know it's quicker and easier. But actually, I need to still have the skill set, the knowledge, the know-how, the passion, the dedication to get the job done. Of course, if you do want to drop a comment, follow us on social media, email me at thesalescircleofficial@gmail.com or find me on LinkedIn. Let me know if what I'm saying about AI is correct or absolute nonsense. Just while we are on the topic of AI, don't forget this podcast is proudly partnered with Monday.com CRM. If you're looking for a highly functional CRM system that's great to use, intuitive, with great CRM and automation, fantastic reporting, and very, very accessible, then this CRM system is for you. I myself have used it not only for my business, Paragon Sales Solutions, but for multiple clients around the world in multiple sectors. The best thing I love about Monday.com CRM is the fact that it's not too pricey. Of course, there's other players on the market. There's some great CRM systems on the market, but my goodness, do they cost it? Monday.com CRM is a fantastic tool that allows any business to grow, to track deals, to track prospects, to score leads, to score prospects, and to also automate medial tasks as well. As a thank you for listening or watching the podcast, if you click the link in the show notes or the description below, you'll see a link. And on that link, if you put that into your web browser, you'll get some free access and some other cool goodies as well. So make sure you check it out. So we're going to move on to our listeners' questions. Now, this is a section that I love in every single one of our podcasts. And don't forget that every now and then I just collate loads of questions. And what I do is I put them into a special episode. So if you've got any burning sales-based questions, I'm here to help you answer them. Whether that be you've got a prospect that you're just struggling to close, maybe you keep hearing the same objection again and again and you need someone to give you some good objection handling tips. Maybe you want to learn how to use AI within your sales process in a nice and easy manner. I'm here to answer those questions for you. There's a couple of ways you can get in touch. Either, goodness, I'm going to get told off by our editors for hitting the mic there. You can either email thesalescircleofficial@gmail.com. You can comment us or message us over on social media. Or even now on Spotify, you can just drop a comment directly below. So please do let me know your questions. We've got this one from David. David says, I'm new to AI. What's thing I should use first? Or I should try first, he says, sorry. Look, start small. I think like implementing AI is like when businesses sometimes try to implement CRM systems. They try and overwhelm and do things too quick and too fast. Just start small. you know, like I say, I want to steer us away from using AI to do everything, to, you know, to stop it from writing your scripts, your emails, to becoming you. Try and find those tasks that AI could potentially support you with, those that can help you automate to free up some of your time. So what I recommend is start to write down some of those tasks that you do as a salesperson. I don't think you mentioned what you do actually. So yeah, David, whether you're a salesperson or a CEO, write down some of the tasks that you do on a daily, weekly basis. Maybe it's putting together a proposal. Maybe it's running an audit on a business. Maybe it's doing some competitor research for a client, whatever it is. Find those tasks that kind of are taking up, 15 minutes of your time, right? Maybe longer. And just think, well, can I try and automate this a little bit? Of course, Monday.com CRM is a great tool that's fantastic at automating a lot of medial tasks. So make sure you hit the link below, David, for a bit of a free trial there. But just experiment, start small, and play around. This one here from Megan says, will AI ever replace salespeople? I'm very firm on this, Megan. No, AI will not kill off salespeople, right? The beauty about working in sales, in my belief, is that salespeople will have a job for life. Salespeople, like if you look at trades throughout the years, trades have come and gone, okay? Trades have been there and gone over the year and vanished and changed somewhat, right? Jobs that existed 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, many of them are no longer needed. One thing that's always remained there is salespeople. We can word it different ways: account managers, customer service people, salespeople, sales professionals, entrepreneurs. One thing that has always kind of stayed within the world is salespeople. There is always something to sell. Now, will AI replace those tasks and those salespeople? Once again, no, I don't believe so. I think we may experience a small trend, we may experience a small trend where business owners trying to save some pennies, or the financial directors of the world, they will utilize AI more and may try and lose some of their sales team and replace with AI. But I think before long, over time, they will all of a sudden decide, actually, I need that human-to-human interaction. And as always, I think the forerunners in business are always the ones that deviate from the trend. There may come a time, Megan, where all of a sudden businesses ditch salespeople altogether. And what will happen is people get bored of that. And then lo and behold, they're gonna come back to use salespeople again. Once again, what I've come to learn about life, I don't know whether it's I'm older, is that trends come and go. So I recently moved to a village and I bought a book about the history of the village just because I'm an absolute nerd and I wanted to learn about the history of the village. And it talked about a local greengrocer, and there was a photo of them in their van. And it talked about how they used to go around the village delivering direct to doorsteps. Okay. Now, what really made me laugh about that is, what was this? I think the photo was taken, I want to say 1908, right. 100 years ago, someone came up with the idea of, instead of having a shop, I'm going to deliver my produce to your house. Okay. That's what happened. That trend went incredibly well. Then all of a sudden, people went, no, I don't want it delivered to my house. We're just going to have a shop. And then what's happened recently, right? Deliveroo, Uber Eats, I can now go on my phone and order my groceries direct to my home. So we're just seeing a full circle of the trend there, right? So I think no matter what happens in life, everything goes full circle. Now, I'm just getting a flashing notice from my camera that my battery is running really low. So we're going to keep going. But if we lose visual, all we're going to do is we're going to just, if you're watching this over on YouTube, I do apologize. You'll just have to watch a blank screen of me for the remaining 5 minutes or so. But hopefully it will hold out for the next 5 minutes. Either way, audio-wise, if you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you're absolutely fine. Thomas, thank you for this question. Thomas, how do I stop my AI messages sounding so robotic? And look, that's exactly it, right? We can all go on ChatGPT, onto Grok or any system and say, write me an email. And it will, naturally, unless we train it, unless we give it some inputs, it will sound robotic. It will sound fake. The most important thing, though, Thomas, is it won't sound like you. It won't be you. It won't be your human. It won't be your emotion. It won't be your soul. So don't think of AI as your writer. Don't think of AI as your copywriter. Don't think of AI as your email author or composer. Treat it as an assistant. Once again, I think AI is great for getting over writer's block and thinking of new ways to say things or new ways to write things. I think AI shouldn't be a copy and paste machine. We shouldn't just be taking what AI says and take it away. We can potentially take it away and edit it, tweak it, change it, humanize it, put it in your own tone. You could delete half of it and just use the opening statement, the closing statement, whatever. So personalize it so it sounds like you. And this comes back to like one of my biggest fears and caveats when it comes to sales and salespeople. People buy from people. People want to buy from you, Thomas, because of who you are as a human being. Okay. Of course, your product and service matters, but they want to buy from you because of who you are. So with that in mind, make sure you get your tonality, get your personality in there. But thank you so much for all those questions. Like I said earlier, if you want to send in any question whatsoever, email the salescircleofficial@gmail.com. Leave a comment on any of our social medias. Send us a DM in on any of our social media channels. Myself or one of my team will pick it up and we'll read it out as soon as we can. Now we move on to the book recommendation of the week. If you're a big fan of the podcast, which I thank you for, you'll know that every week I pick a book from my ever-growing book list, a bookshelf behind me, and I recommend it. As always, whatever book I shout out, the link to get your own copy will be below in the show notes or on YouTube, so make sure you grab a copy. And today's book is called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Now, Brian Tracy is a fantastic sales coach, sales author. I think he went on to business coaching as well. He's probably one of the most famous authors around business, entrepreneurship, entrepreneurism, and self-improvement. And you've probably heard of this term before, eat that frog. What the book talks to us about is, put really simply, it's a great book to read. As you can see, it's not a massive book, okay? Every day, on your to-do list, there is something big, hard, horrible, disgusting that you keep putting off. You kind of start to focus on the small jobs that you don't need to focus on. And that one job stays there and you go, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And sometimes that could be calling that pesky client. It could be replying to a complaint. It could be sending off a proposal for whatever reason you've put off because you're scared of rejection. Maybe it could be making 20 cold calls. Eat That Frog flips that idea on its head and tells you to eat that ugly thing, to take that task and do that first. Because once that frog's gone, once that ugly frog's gone, then all of a sudden your day becomes better, it becomes brighter, your mind frees up somewhat. So the book goes into a lot more detail and explains things in a lot better than I, but grab yourself a copy. The link is below. And that wraps us up for another episode of the Sales Circle podcast. I'm just glancing over at my little monitor there, and well done YouTubers. Well done for those of you that are viewing. The camera has not died, but lo and behold, I'm sure it will in a moment. But we've only got about a minute left anyway. As always, I want to say a massive thank you for those of you that have tuned in for so long and made it thus far. If you have enjoyed the show, even if you haven't enjoyed the show, make sure you hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. It really does make a massive difference to myself, the show, and of course, you, the listener. Today, we've spoken again about AI. We've talked about the benefits, the pros. We've talked about how you can use AI to free up some medial tasks. What we've also done is talked about the negatives, the cons, the reasons why you should always approach AI with caution. Am I right or am I wrong? Please do write in. Please leave some comments for me. Next week, we're going to be talking about the importance of staying healthy as a salesperson, something that I may have let myself go on recently, but I think is so, so important. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Sales Circle. And until next week, all the best. And that's it for another episode of the Sales Circle. Make sure you hit that follow button, join us over on social media, and we'll see you next week.